Alright, welcome back for another technical analysis video. We're going to look at some crypto coins here. This is Ethereum. Let's look at Bitcoin first. So Bitcoin is the crypto leader. Typically when Bitcoin falls, the alternative coins will fall. They just move in different percentages and the charts look a little different. So I like to look at a 4-hour chart. If you've been following my videos, you'll know that I use the Ichimoku indicator. Let's go to a daily chart here. So the Ichimoku indicator is the lines and cloud formation you see on the screen here. When we're in a bull market, you want to see price staying above the cloud on the daily chart. Okay, so you notice for this whole rally, since the rally began way back here in October of 2020, we broke above the cloud here and continued to stay above the cloud. Also, we tend to stay above this red line. We had some volatility here and pulled below it, but we did stay above the cloud, bounced from the cloud again here. So this was actually a good buy signal right in here. You see how we touched the cloud, bounced, and these moving averages crossed, this blue line and red line. So the blue line stays closest to price. This is a 9-period moving average. So what you want to see is you want to see price stay above the red line, and we like to see the blue line above the red line here. We had a cross down here, so this was price action was getting pretty bearish here, but we did stay above the cloud and we bounced. So what we see now is we've finally broken down below the cloud and we've seen quite a sell-off here. So technically we are in a downtrend until we get back above the cloud. And from the looks of things, I mean, this could take months to iron itself out. You never know what price is going to do. This could be the bottom right here. We could just make an immediate U-turn and head right back up. But for now, I'm basically bearish on crypto because we are in a confirmed downtrend. And these lines that you see coming down here represent downtrending pressure and areas of downtrending resistance. So we've had a bounce here and we've come right back to this blue line here, and you can see how we tend to stay below that. We'll pull up, test it, maybe a little above it, and then back down. So this is really not the place to be buying. If you want to try to trade these oversold bounces, when you see a big huge move down way away from the tops of all the other candles, that's an oversold area. If you want to play those, what I do is I come down to a 30-minute chart. So in the 30-minute chart here, we had a moving average cross. Price got above the blue line and the red line, and these two lines crossed. So if you want to play these bounces, this is where you get in the trade, where you see the moving averages cross and you start seeing candles forming above the red line here. It's easy to see that looking at the chart history, but when things are unfolding live, it's a little intimidating and can be difficult, kind of unnerving really. But so here the rally is continuing. We're staying above the red line here. I think this is getting a little bit long in the tooth because when we look at our 4-hour chart, that's going to show us our areas of downtrending pressure. This cloud represents downtrending pressure. I'm actually surprised that we didn't react right here and go down. We've gotten up into the cloud. So this is actually kind of a bullish sign right here. The next thing you want to see is you want to see these moving averages cross and the blue line begin to support the price action rather than suppress it. So I'm actually anticipating this to get rejected near the top of the cloud here. So we have an area of technical resistance here. We see a lot of price action that kind of topped out in this area. So this is a area of resistance. Okay, we're getting close to there now, and it's also represented by this flat area of the cloud right here. So as price progresses and comes to test this flat area of the cloud, I would say there's a fairly high probability that price will get rejected here and continue down. Unless this is the bottom, and we don't know if this is the bottom until it's history. But bottoms can take time to develop, so quite often what we'll see is a rejection and another move down, and maybe we don't make a new low and we head up. That can be an indication that's a bottom. If we don't make another new low and have another strong move up, or we may come down and test this area again and bounce again and get a double bottom. So for right now, this looks like a bottom, but it's really not until we get some confirmation. So I'm actually expecting Bitcoin to get rejected here right around the $4,000 level is what I'm anticipating. You can't make predictions. I don't try to make predictions, but I just try to determine high probability trade direction based on the technicals is basically what I'm doing. Back to the daily chart here. So another area of downtrending pressure is this line here. This line tends to, it'll flatten out and then it'll drop again if price doesn't get back up here to keep this from falling. So as price falls, the moving average line falls. Right here we had some, we tried to hold this area, so we're seeing a bit of a flat line here. So this is actually downtrending resistance here at about 44.8. So if we can manage to get past the area where we're at now, we could see a reaction up here. As price progresses and things develop, we may come over and test the downtrending cloud on the daily chart, and this will likely act as resistance as well until price can get back above it. Another thing we look at for buy signals is this green line here. This is called the lagging line, and for a proper buy opportunity, you want to see this line above the price, and it's well below the price. So basically, if you're buying down in here, you're basically bottom fishing. I like to wait for a trend to develop. You wait for the trend to develop, and it really helps minimize your downside risk. But like I say, if you do want to do some bottom fishing and play these bounces, then you go down to your lower time frames with the indicator. Okay, I don't subscribe to TradingView, so we're going to get some advertisements pop up here. Oh, it's not going to let me look at a 30-minute chart. That's dumb. Get out of here. Alright, apparently I've worn out my welcome with TradingView. Let's see if it'll work for Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum daily chart. We've had a really strong oversold bounce here. This blue line here indicates downtrending pressure. If you switch to a 4-hour chart, you're probably going to see this blue line is represented by the cloud in the 4-hour chart. So basically, we're still above the cloud on the daily chart, but over here we have what's called the bearish twist, where the cloud is twisted and turned red. And this area here lines up with our what's called the Kijinsen line here. and that represents strong area of resistance. This blue line represents downtrending pressure. Let's see if it's going to let me. Okay. So like I said, that blue line we saw on the daily chart represents the cloud in the 4-hour chart. So right now we're testing the bottom of the cloud, and it looks like we're starting to react. This can be a little tricky. This could turn into a green candle again and continue on up, and possibly even test the top of the cloud. We're starting to get a moving average cross here, so things are turning bullish, but also at an area of downtrending pressure. So this is high risk to enter the trade right here. Let's see if it'll let me do a 30-minute chart. Okay, here's a 30-minute chart. So just like with Bitcoin, when I pointed out where to enter the trade, when the moving averages cross, price gets on top of the red line here and is above the blue. And look at the orientation of the candles compared to these lines for the length of this rally. Okay, we're starting to get some bearish indications here. On the 4-hour chart, we saw that the candlesticks are testing that downtrending cloud, and right here we're starting to drop below our indicator here. But that happened here as well, and I thought we were going to roll over right here, but we didn't. We went up even higher. We could react with our Kijinsen line right here. I need to subscribe to this if I'm going to keep using it. It wants to keep pounding me with these advertisements. So we could be reacting here and going to break to the downside here. This candle is developing right now on the 30-minute chart. It's possible it could react to this line and head up again. These chart patterns, like I say, they take time to develop. But I think it's getting a little bit late to play this bounce right here. The time to get in was down here where you saw these moving averages cross. So we're going to let this do what it will and try to catch the next one. If you want to try to catch the bottom. Another thing to look at, if you really want to hang on, is just for it to stay above the cloud here. So these lines indicate momentum. So right now it looks like momentum is starting to break. The cloud represents the trend. Okay. The lower time frames are really not reliable for identifying trends. You want to go to your daily chart to identify the trend. And looking at the daily chart at any of these, you're going to see the trend right now is down. So we're just playing a bounce within a downtrend here. We may come down here and test the cloud and bounce again, retest this top, and eventually fail, or maybe we'll keep going. Maybe we'll blast off to all-time highs again. You really don't know. Just try to analyze the technicals here. This candle is getting bigger by the second. It'll be interesting to see, but I have a feeling, it's my gut feeling that we're going to roll over here right now. But price is going to do what the market wants it to do. I'm not in control. I just read it. I just read the charts. Okay. Let's see. Let's look at Doge. I wouldn't doubt if we see a similar thing with Dogecoin. This chart's a little bit choppier than Ethereum and a little more volatile. But we had our moving average cross here. Yeah, this chart's pretty crazy. This will be a little bit harder to trade. So we have stayed above the red line here, and it looks like we're going to come down and we're going to test it right now. We've kind of put in this big, almost what looks like a climax double top, but at least for just for this run, for this pullback here. So yeah, watching this candle develop, we would want to see it react to this line and continue back up. Let's see what a 4-hour chart looks like. Yep, see, we're testing the cloud on the 4-hour chart. This is our downtrending pressure, this cloud. The bottom of the cloud is resistance, but this flat top of the cloud would be stronger resistance. This flat top represents price action support or resistance area. So see, we topped out here, we bottomed out, reacted here. So this is all price action resistance now. If we can get on top of it, it could be support, but right now it's resistance. So it's looking to me like this this pullback is about to roll over. We'll see what it looks like tomorrow morning. I'm not going to stay up all night and watch it. So I think I like to watch the charts and analyze the technicals. I don't like to use stop losses, which is kind of dangerous, really, because every now and then you'll get a long wick. I like to look at where the candlesticks close. Okay. All right, I'm going to wrap up for this video right now. We're going to see how this goes, how it looks tomorrow.